It's in cities where most of the information we have about black and ethnically diverse people is gathered. But what if you live outside the big cities, where you're hidden from the studies and the surveys? Louisa is one of nearly 2 million black people who live in the UK, but one of only about 1,000 living in Somerset. Her experience is unlikely to be captured in any study.
Systemic racism is obviously a massive problem, and that permeates sort of all areas of society, no matter where we live. But I think here in the West Country, I think we have a particular culture of institutionalised racism, and within that culture, racism doesn't get challenged very much, and when people do challenge it or do speak out, they can be then abused or victim blamed, and then sort of experience more discrimination, if you like.
Anecdotally, racism is worse in rural areas. That's certainly the experience of Somerset pastry chef Wahid. No studies examine this, but data shows you're many more times likely to be stop and searched if you're black living in the West Country than in London.
I've been told to go back to where I come from a few times. I get lots of stares from people. I've been racially abused, I'd say, a couple of times. There's obviously the random stop and searches, because obviously there's not many people that look like me out here. So
You get disproportionately stopped and searched?
Yeah. It's happened to me about 12 or 13 times in my lifetime here.
The different experiences of people from ethnic communities living in the countryside is just one example of data that's missing. And if there are gaps in knowledge, there will be gaps in policy. Which is why the Centre on the Dynamics of Ethnicity is commissioning the biggest ever study to find out what's missing.
It will cover topics and aspects of life that are relatively unknown about for minority communities, such as political attitudes, financial circumstances, health and mental health, well-being, religious and ethnic identities.
There are some huge data gaps. For the last 10 years, for instance, the NHS has not measured mental health and how it intersects with ethnicity. But 10-year-old data suggests that black people are 5 times more likely to suffer a severe mental health illness than white people.
White is held up as the norm. Then you do grow up with a distorted sense of self and have problems with your identity, and it's definitely impacted my mental health.
It may be subtle but cumulative, the things that impact on why minority groups have different outcomes and experiences to the majority. Small things such as finding a slavery family memorialised on the walls of your local church.
I came to this beautiful church because I love churches, and I found this memorial to Azariah Pinney. And one of the things it said on there was that he was benefactor to all men. And that made me feel quite upset, because I've done quite a lot of research into the Pinney family and I know about their slave trading activities.
Plantation owner John Pinney said of slaves, "Surely God ordained them for use and benefit for us." It's all in the past, but many feel those inequalities haven't fully balanced out. And only by knowing and understanding the problem can we try to solve it. Jason Farrell, Sky News.